Hello! So this is a fairly impromptu video, but all the same, it's a video that I felt like I wanted to vent out to you all. Now this is going to be about racism in the Doctor Who community and the Fugitive Doctor. It's going to be a hell of a trip, so buckle up, I guess. Now I guess you can see this as the spiritual successor to the video that Tharries did on toxic positivity, which, like toxic negativity, can lead the fandom down a dark path, but what I'm going to talk about today is something slightly darker. But, well, here we go. I guess someone has to take the plunge, so it may as well be me. These days, I'm just a form of chaos, allegedly. Doctor Who, on the whole, is a good show when it comes to race in the new series. We've had Mickey Smith and Martha Jones, two of the best realised characters that the show has had. We've also had the wonderful Bill Potts, and in the current era, we've had Ryan and Yaz, along with plenty of supporting characters along the way. But the biggest thing that we've had installed into the show is the presence of a new Doctor, the Fugitive Doctor, as played by the simply incredible Jo Martin. Now, her introduction was a shock in an episode full of shocks. We originally thought that the return of Captain Jack was the only thing to be hyped about when it happened, but then the episode throws a curveball that no one really expected. The sudden reveal that supporting character Ruth was actually the Doctor. For all intents and purposes, the first black Doctor Who. Her announcement was met with disdain and joyousness in nearly equal measure. It went down both ways, especially with it being reduced to some as being, well, woke, or a diversity high, which is a shame, but at the same time it was also seen as being very empowering to the black community. Swings and roundabouts, talk about that. My personal reaction at the time? Shocked and amazed. I'm a half Jamaican guy, and I hold my heritage close to my chest on a personal basis. So it was a wonderful thing to see a hero and one of my favourite fictional characters of all time become someone like myself for the first time. Obviously, there were some people being absolutely rancid about it, one person on Instagram saying they could accept if she was a woman, but not black, using the circular movement around their face to denote this. It was quite horrid, I won't lie. But when the dust settled and the series finished, we have the first Black Doctor, an all-new Doctor to experience, to see live their lives. And we don't even know when we're going to see her again. And then it further hit me. Again, a whole new Doctor, a brand new incarnation that we have never seen before, doesn't have an era of her own. And I feel that's a bit unfair. Now, before I go further, I want to clarify that one of my primary issues is the concept of a side Doctor. A Doctor that feels like they're not critical to the plot, or feels like a mystery box that isn't going to be rectified anytime soon. The War Doctor managed to get away with this because his story was initiated and resolved within 2 episodes and a minisode. But the plot nature of the Fugitive Doctor has just put her completely up in the air. It rubs salt into the wound that she was the first Black Doctor used in an almost tokenistic fashion. Again, I mean honestly no disrespect to Chris Chibnall or anyone like that, as I'm very sure it probably wasn't intentional, it just turned out like this. But then you think about the stereotypes, in a year where black people and their relationship with law enforcement really came to its head. The official title of Fugitive Doctor has become almost comically foreshadowing of what was to come. I mean, I do think it was a good title. I mean, most doctors are fugitive in a way, but... Then her introduction. That had her accompanied with a big-ass gun. Double hoy. And then the crusher was the fact that her main plot service was to aid the protagonist's character development. Again, no disrespect to Jodie. And then came the finale in which she was served as a magical N-word stereotype. I can't even say it because YouTube will kill me. Where a black character appears to a white character in order to aid them in their time of need. It was all a bit misaimed, and it did feel like a bit of a kick. I thought about this for a good long time, and it did kind of hurt a bit. Like, we've got the first Black Doctor. That's great. But she was introduced in a remarkably safe way which has done nothing but service the plot developments of the Timeless Children. And yet I want to see far more of the Fugitive Doctor herself in her own natural era. Because again, I personally feel that this was a slightly misaimed part of the series. Introduced as potentially a pre-Hartnell Doctor despite the police box, which makes her fairly inaccessible, really. And ultimately is just going to stand out as Doctor Who trying to break down those barriers of race by casting their lead character as a black woman, but not really. It's a version of their lead who's actually just a side character. And I don't want Doctor Who to ever be tokenistic in its diversity usage. It's something that genuinely worries me. The idea that she is the Doctor that is the least equal to the show's main Doctors in terms of content is a very sad thought, because even the more underused Doctors like McGann and Hurt got at least massive involvement in an episode that was over an hour long. Jo Martin, she gets nothing but quick cameos in, what, 2 episodes? It's just a little bit unbearable. Well, it's a bit strong to say. We haven't even completed the era yet, but I'm just nervous, really. Going forward in what we have, I would just like there to be a little bit more focus on Jo Martin as well if we're really going down the route of having her as a proper Doctor. Her Doctor cannot be forgotten about. She cannot be just replaced or ignored. There has to be a plan that involves the Fugitive Doctor, and I would adore it if she were to play the 14th Doctor, but I honestly feel that's probably unlikely. I just hope that Jo Martin gets some decent screen time in the next series, because she is, quite frankly, fantastic casting for her next Doctor. She has the screen presence, the manner, everything to suggest that if you give her a chance, she will make for a fantastically entertaining and powerful Doctor. A worthy successor to Jodie or anyone. And I really believe that she could pull it off. I believed her when she said that she was the Doctor. So, with that in mind, I made the phenomenal and critical error of making my thoughts known to the world through the power of dread and social media. And I found an incredible amount of people who are willing to discuss, and some even agreed with me, and I'm certainly glad to find those other opinions, different or otherwise, as long as it's civil. But then there are the rude ones. One person, a few months ago, someone who I quite well respected as well, took quite a bitter stance with me, saying that trust some fans to see the move as a kick in the teeth. You would have preferred her to have been a white actress and wait 3 years for Jodie to leave? Which is completely ridiculous. White or black, it's unfair that a Doctor be underused so flippantly. But it's also an unfair attempt on my own character myself as well, representing me like I'm some sort of reverse racist. And then the same thing happened yesterday. She's actually the Doctor, not a side character. Also, Chris was always going to do that story, so he was going to hire someone to fulfill it. We should be happy that he chose to hire a black woman. Would you have rather a white man done it? What is with this argument? They always use the same damn argument. And also, other people were just saying I was attention-seeking, etc. like that, or saying I was making up a fuss. And then, I got a message today saying that I should get over it, followed by the N-word. And frankly, it just says it all. Certain parts of the Doctor Who fandom just have a sincere, real issue with tolerance and other colours that aren't them, and this is just going on my own personal experience as a mixed-race guy who's endured this racist attitude. It's just been a rough day. I can't even be angry about it at this point. I'm just exasperated and exhausted. But the thing is, you just gotta move on from it. And of course, this is coming off the back on the attack on the Who Addicts as well. It's a completely different reason, of course, but they got practically obliterated for their thoughts on the revolution of the Daleks, which was hugely unfair. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same just happens to me, but I'm going to go down fighting because why not? It's not like I have anything else to lose. We're in a Lock D. So, yeah, this is easily the most controversial video I've ever made, but I won't let it stop me just saying my piece come what may. It doesn't need to be this way, as too often fans like myself are often told to shut up or just to be grateful for what we're given, as we've been done some sort of favour. Like, no, bro, it's not like that. The whole thing just kind of sucks. I am forever grateful, yes, that Jo Martin got a role as Doctor Who. She is going to be the Doctor. She's going to be the Fugitive Doctor, but you need to use her more for it to mean something good. Otherwise, you're just underplaying it and you're just sending out the wrong message. That, you know, we're never as good. We're never going to be at that level as everybody else. I'm sorry, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to pass too much of a definitive judgment until the end of Series 13, and I sincerely hope that they do something with her there. Because so far, we just haven't been given enough for the Doctor they've pushed so hard as a proper Doctor and all. I just wanted to get my concerns out there and probably just say everything I needed to, and then probably not mention this again. But anyway, thanks for you guys for listening if you made it to the end. I know this isn't the sort of content anyone would expect from me, but at the same time, I appreciate you giving me the time of day. So, until next time, where regular scheduling will continue as usual, I just want to say, see ya. Take care.